This review may reveal information on plot twists, characters, hidden characters, or any other types of valuable information that may reduce your enjoyment of this video game or any video games in the series. Please watch this review with caution and understanding that any spoilers can be and will be revealed at any point in time during this review. Alright guys, what's up? It's Paradox224 and welcome to the Halo CE Combat Evolved for the Xbox as well as for the PC. I played it on PC, but I believe that it can work for either, so I'm going to put it in the title as well. Overall, I really liked this game. I've always enjoyed this game. This game has been something that I have played not only when it came out with my friends, but also long after it came out, long after Halo 3 and Halo 4 came out. When I went to high school, every day at the end of the day, me and my friends would run to the media center before they banned us from playing Halo because we were so rowdy. We would go and play Halo. We'd play a multiplayer map, we'd play a custom server, it'd be fun. And we'd just do that until the buses had to take us home that day, and it was awesome. But backstories aside, I do love this game and I love everything about it. So we're gonna get into the stuff right now. Pros. I love the story. I love how it arcs. I love everything that happens. It's kind of a sad ending. It really is. It kind of hits you right in the feels. And there's the stupid suspense with him taking off his helmet that everyone just goes crazy about. I swear, you can Google Master Chief's face and just see the pages and pages line up of people going, oh, this is what he looks like, he does have the ability to pull his mask off and everything like that, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's not that big of a deal, but it's awesome. It's a very good, I like this arc, and I hope that the arc continues in the other gameplays. I've heard bad reviews about Halo 2's arc, but I hear a lot of good stuff about its gameplay, so I'm really excited to play that. My next point is actually excellent gameplay. I loved the mechanics, I love the feel to it. Oh, I've got something to add to my comments now, I have to remember that. But, no, I loved everything about this game, and I just loved how the whole thing moved. I loved that you had the ability to access different weapons. I loved that you had the ability to access not only human weapons, but alien weapons. You had the ability to access the weapons that were built into the machines, as well as use the machines and vehicles themselves. I loved being able to do anything you wanted to in the world. I love the graphics in this game. I mean, I'm usually a sucker for graphics, but sometimes they're really bad and sometimes they're really good. And this game had a good, especially for the time that it came out, it had a really good feel for the graphics. It doesn't look too bad, but even now it doesn't look the best. But I mean, the franchise itself is just crazy enough that we created an anniversary edition of this game with HD graphics, but you could still have the original graphics in it if you wanted to. It just shows you how much this game evolved the entire way video games were. I mean, before this, the Xbox didn't really have anything big for it. The actual original Xbox didn't have anything. It had Xbox Live somewhat. It kind of didn't work very well. It was very finicky on when it worked. And it just didn't have any good major titles going for it right now. Halo was the game that brought everything in, and it was the game that started Xbox off, really. So, next thing is the music. If you can't tell, I gotta be careful with this music because I actually mentioned it a few times in the series. I have to talk over the music because the copyright machine will actually catch me on that, and that's because the Halo's music is really good. It's really powerful. It's really strong. I love the story in it because if you can listen, you can actually hear it. The flood music scares the heck out of me every single time I hear it. I hate it so much. There's a point in which I complain. I'm like, I will play this game just fine. I will verse 1,000 flood. Just don't make me listen to the flood music. But I love the music in it. Everything just makes everything sound so epic, and I love it so much. So the last thing I've got to say is the save points. I love how they save. They save after everything. After every major battle, there's usually a save point in an action way somewhere, and there's usually a load-up screen as well, if there ever is, which there oftentimes isn't. But, I mean, the save points in this game are very good. They're all over the... Well, they're a 50-50 shot, but they're usually pretty good. And I'll get to that in a second, because we're going to jump into the cons. And the cons for the save points are that sometimes you get thrown into a very non-win situation. It happens a lot. It happened to me a few times where I'm literally... The save point has saved me with no ammo and a whole bunch of enemies, no marines, and anything else. Because I walked back into the save point when I wasn't looking. And it's just a big problem that I've seen with this game. Is that there's just points in which I'll just get swarmed with enemies. Next, a thing that I've complained about the most, the driving controls. I hate the Warthog driving controls. Ghost controls are fine. Banshee controls are fine. Even the Scorpions, well, yeah, the Scorpion we drove for a little bit. That one was fine too. The one thing that I hate is the Warthog driving controls. It slips, it slides, it spins around. You can do donuts without even meaning to. It's the worst driving mechanic I have ever seen. Driving on ice makes it none worse. It's like you're not even driving on ice. It's just bad. I don't like the driving mechanic. I really hate that the end of the game involves you using the driving mechanic, because there were points in I was literally flipping upside down simply because the driving mechanic was just not great. I could not do anything about it either. If they do anything in Halo 2, I really hope that they fixed their driving mechanic. That's the only thing I've got to say. So, next is nav points. Nav points and directions. I'm going to tie these two together. There was a point in which I literally had to stop what I was recording and go to a website and look through this area to find that I was supposed to take the Ghost, drive over a ledge that seemed almost impossible to get over to get to a Banshee so I can get up to a nav point, because they don't explain how to do it. The directions in this game are something to be refined, hopefully in the next game, because I haven't played Halo 2 yet. I haven't played any of the other Halos in the series, if you guys haven't already known that, but the directions are just horrible sometimes, because once you get here, this is an example, once you get onto Halo for the first time and you have to drive around and find all of the survivors and find all of the stations, you have to look for 2 flashing lights in front of an opening. If you don't know where those openings are already, you're never going to find them. It's going to be incredibly hard to realize those points are where you're supposed to go. And I feel like they could have done a better job explaining that in detail, but they really didn't. And sometimes the nav points are pretty good. Like this nav point that we're looking at right here, that's fine. I don't care about that. That's totally good. I don't need to worry about that. But the nav points where I have to search around for it, or if it's up high somewhere and you don't explain how to get there, it's annoying. I'd like to be able to see checkpoints. You go here first, and then this will give you a Banshee, and then you can use this Banshee to fly up to this nav point that I'll switch to when you get to later. I wish it had worked out that way, and it didn't. The next point that I've got is the general level layout. I complained about this a lot when we were going through the levels with Guilty Spark. All of those underground levels looked exactly the same. Now, don't get me wrong. Those save points in that level are hard to do, and I had a problem with that because I record singularly rather than multiple episodes per playthrough. What I do is, because I have school and I have work and I have everything else, I record 1 episode at a time per day. So I'll record 1 episode a day, 1 episode a couple days from now, maybe a week, 1 episode after that a couple days from then, maybe a week, and so on and so forth. So that's why sometimes I don't always remember exactly what we're doing, but at the same time, the save points are not always the best. So I will admit that there is some fault with me for doing that, but at the same time, they look very, very similar. A lot of it is the same. A lot of it is just level after level after level of just garbage, the same layout over and over and over again. And I wish they had put a little bit more care into that thought. I mean, everything else looks amazing. Hidden Elite, everybody's locked up in cells. The story that they put into all of this is amazing. I can't hate on that. I just hate that one area they were just like, on the level design, we don't really need to worry. And then the last thing is just a little side note, because I was playing, the review is going to go up, or the minigame is going to go up after this, but I was playing using just a pistol and a rifle, and I don't have a zoom button, and it was just destructive. It was just horrible, horrible, horrible. And I've had this in points before. I mean, the mouse, when I was on mouse and keyboard, it was fine. When I switched to my controller when I got it, I would have preferred it. I think they fixed this in Halo 2. I haven't checked, but I would like a zoom button. I don't care that it's not all that great. Call of Duty has it for every single gun in their arsenal. They have it for. So I just wish that they would add in a zoom function. Maybe I could download a mod for it. Well, I don't need it now, but if I could have downloaded a mod function for it, I would have. But, so, now we're actually going to get into, the next game in the series, which, I've already explained this before, but if you weren't paying attention, this is what we're doing, is I'm actually going through all of the Halo games in the series, and I've got Halo 2 coming in the mail right now. So by the time this goes up, I should have Halo in my hands installed on the computer. I'm just having a little problems. I'm having some problems finding a product key that will work for Halo 2. It's a long story. I'll explain it later when we actually record the episode. But for now, I will see you guys later. I hope you have enjoyed this review. Like, thumbs up, comment, subscribe maybe. Yeah, you don't have to do that. That one's kind of a long shot. Share it to your friends. I don't know. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.